been making malas for a long time now, and I thought it was time to make my own little kits. So you can use a bead board if you want to. You can get those at the Dollar Tree, or just like a little cloth to make sure the beads don't roll around. Let's get started. In every kit, you'll get 112 beads. A traditional mala has 108 beads with knots between each one, sealing some intentions. The beads I chose are garnet, agate, quartz, Dalmatian jasper, and these are some of the spiritual properties that they can bring as you wear them. Included in the kit are 112 beads, just in case if some roll around. You get your tassel that you do at the very end. You have your beading wire, pretty easy, simple. And then the thread will bead on, a couple beads for the end, and a little charm, kind of like a guru bead. Let's get started. First thing you want to do is tie a knot at the end. So you're gonna bring that's long 5-foot string and put it in half, tie a knot at the end, because you're gonna have a double cord, so it's nice and thick. Next step is threading all of the beads onto that string. You can design your pattern using a little bead board, or just kind of go for it. No need to go all crazy and organized. Take the open end, thread the wire through, and then you can start threading your beads. You don't need to push them all down right away. I would just get them all on, and then they slide down pretty easily. Sometimes it's easier than others. You've got this. Keep going until they're all on there. At the end, count to make sure there is 108 beads. It's all strong. Now we're on to the knotting part. Next, I like to push all the beads to this end. So I'm gonna tie a knot that I could take out if I needed here. I'm gonna slide all the beads down to this side. So I can start knotting over here with the tied end. First step, pull the bead across. Figure out your knot style. I like to knot it like this, pull it through. I keep the string attached to the bead as I pull it, because since you're working with 2 strings, it can get a little crazy. Then the intention part. You tug, tug, tug 3 times, seal an intention in. So this one is all about self-love and grounding. Pull another one across, through. Self-confidence. Trust in myself and the universe. You just keep it going until you knot 108 beads. So the idea is that you try to keep the beads very tight together. So there's no like wiggly space between them. So I can't like move them side to side. My first mala I ever made back in, I don't know, 2015 maybe. I had a lot of space between the knots, but you also gotta trust the process. You know, like if there's space, you gotta just allow it to be like a part of your mala. Like you need a little more space for that intention maybe. And it can be a really meditative activity as well, and it feels really nice once like 108 beads are done. I definitely have the mala making calluses on my fingers. It can get really tiring, but it's really a nice, fun activity that I've loved to do. Malas are great for, you know, like new beginnings, fresh starts, or goal setting. I also really love to make malas for family or friends, sealing intentions for them as surprise or like a planned thing, so they can pick out their intentions, pick out their gemstone beads and all of that. You are getting there. So as you get further along, it's like a little snake you have to pull through every time. And your hands will get tired, but it'll be worth it in the end. Oop. There we go. Made it this far. All right. All of the knots are knotted. Now it's time for the next part. First, I'm gonna untie this extra little bit, and then I'm gonna put one of these on. String it through, pull that thread in both sides, and then we're gonna knot this on. So you're gonna do another intention at the very end, same 3 tugs, seal it all in. So this one's a little bit like, make sure you get it tight, and then you're ready to pull it tight, pull it through, knot it in there. At this point, you can either put the charm on or go straight up into the tassel. Tie that up to the top best you can. Knot it. Make sure it's nice and tight. Not gonna fall off. Great. Now, all we need to do is add that little tassel. So your tassel has a little string around the center of it just to keep all the strings together. Pull that little piece off and then set it to the side. With the string you have left, you're gonna place the thread. Sorry, I'm just gonna adjust. This part's a little bit like, gotta finagle some strings around. And then once you have that, place kind of the middle of the tassel in between the strings. You're gonna knot it. You know, still thinking about your intention, all of that fun stuff. I would do a couple knots here. Make sure it's really tight, because every once in a while a tassel can slide down. You want to make sure it's set up for success. After that, you pull it all down. You use that extra string I gave you, this piece, and then you're gonna wrap it around, make a little belt for the tassel. So I'm gonna wrap it around, tie it in a knot. Sometimes when I'm knotting it, I'll even pull out my little pliers just in case my hands are a little clammy, which by the end of all these knots definitely are. So I'll like pull it on both ends, make sure I'm doing it as tight as I can. Next part, we cut all these loose strings to make it more even. So this will be a little pop out. So you can, I don't know, once in a while I'll like super glue that part just to make sure it's nice and solid. And you can use, for this part, you can use scissors or like a fabric cutter. So something like this, or just some nice scissors. This is a fun part. So you kind of make the ends a little bit more even. Doesn't have to be perfect. The point of a mala is definitely not perfection. It's kind of more of the process of it and the experience of creating something very special. So once these guys are a little on the even side, we do our last seal. So you'll need a lighter for this little part. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a little super glue on this knot. I'm gonna tie the ends of it just a little bit right here, maybe a little bit up here, make sure everything is nice and solid. I don't know if anybody else does this, but that's how I like to do it, just to have a longer life of mala. I'll cut off these little ends. That looks good. Then the final part. So think back to your original intentions: self-confidence, self-love, grounding, trust, whatever it is. You're gonna light the ends with those intentions, and we're gonna seal it for the last time. And by the end, maybe wait to touch it because that was hot. You have your full mala. Do a little charm. You've done it. Very special. I like these because I like to wear them around my wrist personally, so I do a little wrap like this to make sure it goes all the way around. When you first make it, it's going to be a little bit tight, so like the strings, so like eventually I'll be able to wrap it around 4 times, but right now it's on the like tighter side, if that makes sense. So you can choose to do like a little wrap like that and wear it on your wrist. You can also just wear it as a necklace. And then sometimes I like to put like some essential oils on the tassel part. I'll also tuck it in if I'm like working. And there you go. You've made your mala.